So Ned, can you talk a little bit about what you've most recently worked on for the Weather Channel?
Sure. Over really a 15-year period, the channel really has looked at ad environment and effectiveness. Basically, the Weather Channel, we were able to generate a exact minute ad rating guarantee. We were first to do it, and it helped us in terms of accountability, and advertisers found it useful. Secondly, the ad recall work that we did over the years was very important. That lengths of pods make a big difference. Where an ad is in the position within a pod is important as far as effectiveness. In all cases, Weather Channel was doing very well relative to competitors. And in fact, we were finding that the fact that people didn't TiVo weather and were able to TiVo other things was ultimately having a big impact on ad schedules. So these things fit together to keep advertisers, I think, abreast of how viewers are using the channel and online, and all important.
Can you go into a little bit more detail about your takeaways from the PODS study? How it was constructed
Sure.
and any conclusions?
Yeah, I think the important takeaway was that first, second positions really are very important. When you are getting into the fourth, fifth position, it is you're looking at 20% of the effectiveness that you would get otherwise. So you're not only losing viewers as far as not seeing an ad, but you're losing them as far as attentiveness. So it's a double whammy for an advertiser. Weather was benefiting because its pods were no longer the 2.5 minutes, and we purposely were designing the network to handle that, do that, to help the environment as far as our viewers, as far as the advertisers.
So what is the difference in audience retention, shorter pod, like what Weather might offer, versus longer pods, which other networks might offer?
Well, if you were to look at average attentiveness for a network with longer pods versus Weather, which has shorter pods, you're in many cases looking at 30, 40, in some cases 50% difference. Whether shorter pods working better, or another vehicle that possibly would have shorter pods as well. Less commercials work. Too many is a problem with viewers, and is not working for advertisers.
Engagement was a very hot topic a couple of years ago. Some networks are still talking about engagement. Can you give me your views on engagement?
I think engagement is actually as important as opportunity to see as a metric. I think that I work at an MTV Networks. Nielsen kept on saying that we had very small, quote-unquote, ratings in terms of people viewing. Yet it was a network that was influenced in a generation. So something was going on there, and it only was taking place because kids, young adults, were engaged. And I think that occurs in cable because brands really are designed for tight targets, and engagement has got to be a part of a total viewing a metric going forward. Costly, but critical in terms of trying to determine where a network goes. Yeah.
So Ned, How would you say one should measure engagement? What would you suggest is the best method?
Well, I'd start with what I think shouldn't be done. I believe that trying to capture impact of an ad based on a survey where somebody has possibly seen an ad a week ago, a month ago, your results are not going to be appropriate. So what should be done is a measure has to be taken within the time, within a 24-hour period when a respondent's actually seen an ad. It's just a have to. Not only do you capture the short-term memory, but you also get a latency measure, you can predict latency, based on that 24-hour measure. So that would be my starting place.